Hello, I'm Hannah, a children's librarian here at Portland Public Library, and I'm going to keep reading Mia Mayhem Gets X-Ray Specs. Yesterday we read chapters 1 and 2, and today we're going to read chapters 3 and 4. So let's get started. Chapter 3, A New Student. Everyone oohed and ahed as a Labrador retriever wearing a matching supersuit led the way. The kid was also already wearing a sleek pair of shaded rectangular glasses. "Thanks for volunteering," Dr. I Spy exclaimed. The boy nodded. Then the dog barked joyfully, as if he were waiting for something. "Woof, woof!" "Oh, sorry, of course," said Dr. I Spy. Then he pushed another button. A much smaller machine, which looked identical to the big one, appeared. The dog stepped up to it and waited. "Part 1 is just a simple eye exam," Dr. I Spy said. "Both of you, please put your faces against your machines. Then look through the lenses and tell me what you see on the other side." From where I sat, I could see that there was a large poster in front of the machines, but it was way too blurry for me to make out. I watched as the boy ran his hand along the top of the lens and felt for where he was supposed to place his chin. "I don't see anything. It's totally dark," the boy said. "All right, that's okay," Dr. I Spy said as he jotted down notes. I wondered if it meant the kid had failed the test. Even though I couldn't tell exactly what was on the poster, I knew it wasn't blank. "Beep bops. The real fun starts now," Dr. I Spy said as he pushed another button. "Part 2 is X-ray vision." A brick wall suddenly sprang up from the floor. It was now completely blocking the poster. Thud. "I'd like for you to focus hard and try to look through the wall. Tell me what you see on the other side," Dr. I Spy said as he adjusted the lens. Obviously, if the boy couldn't see the poster the first time, I was sure a wall wasn't going to help. Except this time, he had an answer. "I see a poster of a dancing hippo," the kid cried happily. His dog yipped in agreement. "Perfect," said Dr. I Spy, smiling. "Great job, both of you." Whoa, I totally had not expected that. I inched closer to try to see how he saw that, but Dr. I Spy quickly moved on to the next section. "And now, part 3, Dr. I Spy continued, is testing your night vision." With a snap of his fingers, the lights went out. It was so dark that I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. But just like before, the boy instantly had an answer. "There's an elephant with a hot dog," he said. His dog barked a third time. "Oh, yes, that's correct. Great work," said Dr. I Spy. Then he snapped his fingers and the lights came back on. "That's it for now. You can go back to your seat." How did this kid just go from seeing nothing to literally seeing through a wall? I had no idea how he did it, but it sure was impressive. And it turns out I wasn't the only one who thought so, because the whole class burst into applause. "Wow, awesome, hooray, so cool." Chapter 4, Mia Takes the Test. After watching this kid and his awesome dog, the test looked much easier than I had first thought. So I raised my hand to go next. Dr. I Spy welcomed me down to the floor. Then I put my face up to the lens. But as soon as I did, I felt like I was back in Mrs. Feelbetter's office. "What do you see?" Dr. I Spy asked. The picture on the poster was unclear, so Dr. I Spy kept switching the lens until I told him to stop. After 10 turns, I could finally see it. "There's a sea lion playing mini golf," I cried. "Yes, terrific," Dr. I Spy said as he made some notes. "Time for part 2. He pushed another button, and the same brick wall came up. Thud! And just like that, the rest of the exam went downhill fast. No matter how hard I squinted, jumped, or spun around, all I saw was a big old brick wall. Dr. I Spy patted me on the back and told me to take my time. So I took a deep breath and tried again. And again, and again. By the 5th try, I just blurted out the first thing that came to my mind. I think I began slowly. "Is it a singing flower?" Dr. I Spy made a quick note. Judging by the look he gave me, that was not the right answer. But we still moved on to part 3. He snapped his fingers, and the gym instantly went dark again. Oh boy, this was even worse than the wall. I could feel beads of sweat dripping down my face. "Can you tell me what you see?" Dr. I Spy asked. I took a deep breath and tried again. But I couldn't see a thing. So I decided to guess, because that had to be better than nothing, right? I see a giraffe on roller skates holding a milkshake while riding in a hot air balloon. Oh boy, what was I saying? I put my hand over my mouth to stop myself from blurting anything else out. Dr. I Spy chuckled, recorded more notes, and then snapped his fingers. When the lights came back on, Dr. I Spy looked at me with a worried frown. Oh no, maybe blurting out answers was a bad idea, but it was too late. Back at my seat, I watched as the rest of the class took their tests. Somehow, nobody else seemed as panicked as I had been. When everyone had finished, Dr. I Spy told us to wait in the student lounge while our glasses were made. My friends and I were walking out when I heard a familiar snicker. "Hey Mia, nice job using your loser vision," Hugo Fast, the class bully, called out. I glanced over at Allie and Penn, who gave me half-hearted smiles. The looks on their faces didn't lie. My eyes were really bad. And that is where we're going to stop today at the end of chapter 4 of Mia Mayhem Gets X-Ray Specs by Kara West, illustrated by Leeza Hernandez. Tomorrow, we'll read chapters 5 and 6. So I hope you join me to find out what happens next. See you then.